So on to muscles of the face and neck. We're going to start with our eye mover muscles. So this is a hopefully short video about the different muscles of the eye that actually move the eye and then what their innervation is. So for starters, I think in my PowerPoint, I did like red as cranial nerve 3. Then, if I recall correctly, cranial nerve 4 was purple, and cranial nerve 6 was blue to help us with our innervation. So that means I don't have to like label it and do the cranial nerve. I could just label it with the cranial nerve color already associated with it. So we're going to see cranial nerve number 3 innervates 4 of our muscles that help us move our eyeball. So for starters, one of those is this muscle up here. So this muscle that comes back is on the top and then comes all the way back straight. This is called superior rectus. So the name rectus actually means straight. Like rectus abdominis, right? Is straight over the abdomen. This is the superior part that's straight. This muscle is going to help us elevate. Whoa. That you got out of hand. Our eyeball. So basically pulling our eyeball upwards. Then we're going to see that the medial rectus, which is right here, and actually medial rectus is on the other side of the eyeball. This is medial, this is medial, this is the medial side of the orbit. I know that because the trochlea here is always medial. So this is medial rectus. Medial rectus is going to help us adduct our eyeball. So helping us move our eyeball towards our nose, right? So like when you're cross-eyed. Then we're going to see that we're going to have inferior rectus right here. So that's this muscle that's coming straight and going back right there. That's inferior rectus. So that one is inferior rectus. And this muscle is going to help us depress our eye. So the superior and inferior rectus also help us with medially rotating our eye. But this is a little harder concept to understand. So we're just going to remember elevate and depress our eye. And then that's 3. So the fourth one is this muscle that's swooping over at an angle. So this muscle you see swooping over here at an angle. This is inferior oblique. So inferior oblique is an odd muscle because you think it's going to help us pull down, but what it actually helps us do is it helps pull our eye up and then laterally rotate it. So it's actually helping us with pulling our eye in that direction. So you want to think you want to think about it elevating and rotating. Remember we said about anything that's oblique, it's going to help us with some sort of rotation. So as this elevates, it twists our eyeball in that direction. Okay, so cranial nerve number 4 is our trochlear nerve. It innervates one muscle. That muscle goes through the trochlea right there. So we see this muscle coming up through our trochlea and coming over at an angle right there. This is superior oblique. So this muscle is, again, a little bit odd in terms of its movement. It's actually going to help us depress and rotate. So basically, as it pulls, it helps us pull and we come that direction for a lateral rotation of the eye. Last muscle is innervated by cranial nerve 6. So cranial nerve 6 is called abducens. So you see this laterally positioned muscle that's straight. This is lateral rectus. Okay, lateral rectus helps us do exactly what its cranial nerve name suggests, which is abduct. So I called the abducens nerve in terms of innervation. So maybe you should be able to label an eyeball. You should know it's the cranial nerve innervation. You should be able to figure out basic movements of the eyeball, which muscle's doing which thing. And then in addition, cranial nerve number 3 also innervates levator, palpebrae, superioris, which is actually a muscle that's above the eye. It's the one that helps us with blinking, okay? So each muscle, I'll do like a different video, each muscle group to make them nice and small so you can just watch one if you have questions about one group of muscles.